Coronation Street viewers were full of praise for actor Gareth Pierce after he delivered a powerful performance as Todd Grimshaw in the latest episode of the ITV soap. Fans quickly shared similar reactions online as Gareth took the spotlight during emotionally intense scenes, with Todd finally finding the strength to report his husband, Theo Silverton, to the police after enduring months of domestic abuse. The difficult episode followed the shocking moment when Theo locked Todd in their bedroom overnight after Todd suggested staying in Weatherfield to support Summer Spellman, who has been struggling following the loss of her guardian, Billy Mayhew. Theo reacted badly to the idea, forcing Todd to reassure him that he would leave with him and help him through his issues before the situation briefly calmed. When Theo went to take a shower, Todd tried to escape, only to realize the flat door had been locked. Theo soon returned, jingling the keys, and upon catching Todd attempting to leave, he launched a brutal attack that left Todd injured and barely able to stand, as he later made his way to Sarah's flat for help. In Wednesday's episode, dedicated to highlighting domestic abuse, Todd was later seen at the police station having his injuries recorded. A poignant moment came when he made eye contact with another victim, visibly shaken by what she saw, having clearly experienced similar violence herself. Todd then opened up to Kit Green and DS Lisa Swain, revealing the full extent of Theo's abuse. He explained how he had secretly gathered video evidence using hidden cameras and shared that Billy had been the only person aware of what he was going through. He also mentioned that they had planned to leave Debbie Webster's wedding early in order to figure out a way for Todd to escape. While Todd was giving his statement, events escalated elsewhere on the street as Gary Windus confronted Theo, threatening him with a wrench and forcing him into a van. The pair then headed to the police station, where Theo was arrested by Kit on suspicion of ABH and false imprisonment, before Lisa began questioning him. Despite attempting to shift the blame onto Todd, Theo was kept in custody overnight. Meanwhile, Sarah took Todd to the hospital, where he collapsed outside and was quickly treated by paramedics. Elsewhere, Lisa was shown discussing domestic abuse with her colleague PC Jess Haywood, as the episode highlighted the wider impact of such situations. Several background characters were seen throughout, each holding a purple leaflet promoting a support group for survivors of domestic violence. Although many cast members played important roles in the episode, it was Gareth Pierce, who has portrayed Todd since 2020, who received the most recognition from viewers for his gripping and emotional performance. Trouble is escalating in Coronation Street next week as Theo's disturbing behavior takes an even darker turn, one that could have deadly consequences. In a tense and unsettling encounter, Theo reveals his true nature to Summer. Getting uncomfortably close, he chillingly claims that Billy begged him to save him, leaving her deeply shaken. Viewers will recall the tragic night in question when Theo played a role in Billy's death during the dramatic Corriedale episode, deliberately fastening his seatbelt again and trapping him inside the van. The shocking confession leaves Summer devastated, and she later opens up to George in the shop, recounting exactly what Theo said. Furious after hearing this, George immediately confronts Theo and delivers a clear warning. He makes it known that if Theo goes anywhere near Todd or Summer again, there will be serious consequences. Despite this, Theo's behavior becomes increasingly unstable. In a concerning moment, he is later seen stumbling out of his van in a dreadful condition, sparking alarm among those nearby. When Miles approaches him, he is clearly disturbed by what he sees, suggesting Theo may be spiraling out of control. As Carl arrives, he overhears Theo pleading with Miles to contact his mother, hinting at a desire to repair his broken family. However, rather than showing concern, Carl appears to view Theo's vulnerable state as something he could exploit. Elsewhere, fears continue to grow for Todd's safety. Kit steps in to reassure him that he will do everything possible to keep Theo away. Still rattled, Todd decides to take matters into his own hands. While at number 11, he tells George that he plans to visit Eileen and Jason in Thailand, hoping to put as much distance as possible between himself and Theo. Later that night, as Todd goes to bed, Theo is spotted lurking outside, watching him through the bedroom window. The eerie moment highlights just how unpredictable and dangerous he has become, raising serious concerns about what he might do next. With tensions building across Weatherfield and Theo appearing to lose his grip on reality, the threat he poses continues to grow. His manipulation of Summer, combined with the truth about Billy's death, could push those around him to breaking point. With a mystery death looming on the horizon, suspicion is already beginning to circle around Theo. The question remains, will he go even further, or is he heading toward his own downfall? Coronation Street's George Shuttleworth is preparing to take decisive action after a series of crushing setbacks, determined to rebuild his life and business despite the odds stacked against him. The big question now is whether this bold move could finally help him regain control and restore his fortunes. The Undertaker has recently found himself at a crossroads after he and Christina Boyd were pushed to consider selling the funeral business due to mounting financial pressure and doubts being cast over George's professional reputation. What was once a stable and respected enterprise is now hanging in the balance, leaving George with a difficult choice about its future. Even while dealing with the shocking truth about Todd Grimshaw's abuse at the hands of Theo Silverton, George and Christina are forced to turn their attention back to the struggling business in upcoming scenes. Personal turmoil aside, the urgent need to secure their livelihood cannot be ignored any longer. In an emotional moment, George was deeply moved when members of the community, people he had supported and cared for over the years, came together to show their loyalty and urged him not to sell the business to rival company Rest Easy. Their support reminded him of the positive impact he has made, giving him a much-needed boost during a difficult time. However, despite this heartfelt encouragement, the financial reality remains harsh. George is still burdened by serious money troubles following his defeat in a court case against Annie King, which resulted in him being ordered to cover her legal expenses as well as return disputed funds. Annie, whose late mother had been one of George's clients, accused him of influencing her to alter her will in his favor, claims that George strongly denied. Nevertheless, Annie pursued legal action and launched a damaging campaign against him, tarnishing his reputation within the community. The court ultimately ruled against George, declaring the revised will invalid and leaving him with a significant financial setback. With the pressure mounting, Christina steps in with a bold suggestion. She encourages George to revitalize the business by investing in a major advertisement in the local Gazette, hoping that a fresh promotional push could attract new clients and restore public confidence. A source close to the show explained, George still has a long way to go before things truly improve. It was incredibly touching to see former clients rally around him and support him during such a tough time, but emotional backing alone won't solve his financial problems. He urgently needs work to start coming in again, and Christina's idea to advertise could be exactly the spark the business needs. The real question is whether George can overcome the damage to his reputation and fight his way back after everything he's been through. As the storyline unfolds, viewers will be left wondering if this determined effort will mark the beginning of George's comeback, or if the challenges he faces will prove too difficult to overcome. Coronation Street continues to air on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.